Hey folks, I was just listening to this brother, what was his name here? He is lied2bad. I like that name. He was up here talking about, I have my notes here this time so that way you guys don't have to listen to me ramble. Um, he was talking about the race war, okay. And I have 3 points that I'd like to make out to him specifically. And the first one is my point being race versus class. Now, unfortunately, in the past, issues have happened which are race related. And I think that the world finally has woken up because it is scientifically accepted that we all originate from Africa, that, no matter where you're from, the original, migrators to those, or migrants, I should say, to whatever area it is, whether it's Asia, Europe, wherever, they all descended from Africa. And I just wanted to get that out of the way to show you that, I I am African. And the reason why I am African is because I am from, my descendants are from England and from Europe, Italy. And, guess where uh, Africans migrated to? Europe. Okay. Now, in terms of skin color, I may be so-called white, but I mean, you're looking at one scientific thing when you call me white or black, and that is the melanin inside my skin. Okay. Now, inside my brother's skin here, he has a lot of melanin, and when I think of my brother, I don't think about all the melanin that he has in his skin, nor do I care about it. Um, it's certainly beautiful, but other than that, that's all I care about it. And I feel like this race issue has been going too far, and I want to show you what it's really about. It's about class. Now, over time, um, the, uh, the the integration of our community has finally happened, thank God. And it's not. I realize that the ghetto was originally made to separate the uh, the African Americans or Latinos or whoever you have that isn't white, of course, from the whites. And that's why, for example, a thriving Harlem would go down so easily, uh, you but anyway, it's not a race war, it's a class war. And the class war is between uh, really the upper elite and the low class, the low middle class to the poor. And we need to start calling them the poor because, not the underprivileged or whatever, these typical British understatements that seem to be the norm in America. They are not the underprivileged. They are poor, okay? They are struggling to survive. And these people have the audacity to charge them interest, to charge them inflated rent, to make it impossible for them to live, uh, you know, beyond uh, a certain level, just to have cattle, okay? This is the class war that's happening. It's not, it used to be a race war because race was equal to class. And it still is, I mean, when I say underprivileged, what do white people think? They think of black people. And that's unfortunate. When I think of underprivileged, I think of, those poor folks who live out in the middle of Alabama, in the middle of nowhere, with no running water, and no clean water, no fresh water, um, no electricity. They live in a shack. That's what I think when I think underprivileged. Okay. I don't think that guy who works at Burger King for minimum wage, you know, but even though that's just as bad, I'm just saying that, you know, there's different levels of poverty, you know. Anyway, the elite upper class control politics and the media. How do they do this? Well, through money. And I've said in other videos that the simplest way to solve this problem would be to take money out of at least the political equation. I realize that you're not going to stop companies from owning other companies, namely media outlets, but we can stop companies from owning the government, okay? And that's what they're doing, as my brother says. And last but not least, I'm trying to keep this video short. Last but not least, he mentioned the federal judge, I don't know his name, who is suing for the benefits of the soldiers, rights. I believe it's health care and, you know, whatever benefits they might have. I don't know enough on the subject. But I'm going to tell you why. The reason why the government is taking that money, and it would be the reason why they would take any money anywhere at any time, including our Social Security, is because they need to pay off their buddies' bad debt. And by their buddies, I mean their financial backers. Now, you know, if you were, uh, uh, you know, one of the Rothschilds or, you know, someone like that, someone with immense amounts of power, and you were looking for a new investment because you needed, you know, some particular industrial thing to happen in one country or another, to help you sell more widgets that you created, or, you know, or even just to print more money or whatever, you know. You're going to buy a politician, and that politician is going to put into practice certain rules. Now, you know, for example, the gay lobby. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, all lobbyists are wrong, but I'm saying that inherently it's an issue. But, you know, the gay lobby got shit done, and that is good. You know, there's nothing wrong with being gay. I'm just saying that, you know, they bothered enough people that they got shit done. But unfortunately, this happens on the other end too. You know, it's not just the cool lobbyists out there. It's the tobacco lobby. It's a lot of different people out there who are trying to manipulate not only these politicians but each other. And this is the class war. This is the class war between the people who have all this money and all this power and the people who don't. And believe it or not, you know, I mean, back in the day, uh, please watch Mike Moore's Capitalism: A Love Story. He mentions that, you know, back in the day, the rich paid more taxes than the poor did. And now it's absolutely the opposite. Why? Because some rich guy funded enough, or him and his company, or just him, you know, it doesn't have to be a company, it can just be one person, because it involves money, and money is king, and we do not need that king in our government. Rate, comment, call me crazy, call me a commie, you know, do whatever, but I just wanted to clear up the race versus class. There is no race war anymore. It is all about class. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It matters what you make and what you